Raise it up. Raise it up. Chat Pro.
Flop the nuts and only every 3
Welcome, Chat Pros. We're back on Max Payne Monday's pregame show. We've missed you for the last few weeks, and this week I have 3 of my favorite people in poker here. Let's meet my guests for today. Let's start on the end. It's DJ Washburn making his reappearance. When's the last time you were on the show, Washburn?
Oh, end of February. It was during our meetup game, during the Hustler
Washburn,
meetup game.
for those of you that don't know, is the official spirit animal of Max Payne Monday.
Wow. Honored
So
to be in
it is quite an honor.
Autographs after the show.
DK is like the heart of Max Payne Monday. DQ is the godfather of Max Payne Monday. And then this guy is the spirit animal.
Thanks,
that means a lot. Next, we have Brantzen, up-and-coming poker vlogging superstar. You may remember him from his amazing performance on the show 2 weeks ago. Brantzen, it's amazing to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And I must say, that latest vlog you made is just absolutely incredible. We're going to take a look at that in a little bit.
Thank you, man.
And finally, we have the beautiful AV Sleeps. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's your, 4th time playing on the show?
It is, yeah.
And you've booked wins the last 2 times.
3 times.
You're undefeated.
Oh,
Defeated.
my. Sheesh.
So far. Don't
Okay,
wanna
there's
jinx
the
it,
commentator jinx has just happened, right?
Yep, there we
but,
go.
you know, today-
It's over now.
Today it's all about action and having
Extra
fun.
tequila.
So one of the things that I thought made you guys an interesting trio to have here is that you're all kind of, creating poker content, and you're, in my opinion, rising poker creating content superstars. It'll be interesting to see 3 years from now where the 3 of you are at in your journey. Brantzen's probably, the farthest right now. Washburn has started a vlog. AV Sleeps is all over the place. You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter. Yeah, I think you need to choose a platform,
I
right?
know.
And just kind of go with that one.
I like it all,
Yeah, let's take a look, actually. Ryan, let's play number 5. This is AV Sleeps, one of her latest TikToks, which I just think is awesome.
How to master 6-9 offsuit. Step 1, call the flop 100% of the time. Step 2, flop the nuts.
Flop the nuts. I love it. So
Well,
tell me about your creative process for making this art.
Yeah, so this one in particular, that was one of my favorite hands on that stream. Definitely. Obviously flopping the second nuts, which I was correct.
Oh, I'm sure the
in
comment section
comments.
was quick to point that out.
The comment section was also quick to point out that autocorrect
Yeah.
got, the flop instead of pre-flop, so I know, how to call pre-flop, whatever. But creatively, I don't know, it's really fun to look at the clips. I take mental note of my favorite hands that happened during the stream, and then being able to find those is always really fun. Clip them down to make them user-friendly, and yeah.
And I think there's a lot of room for kind of more creativity in the poker content creating space. It's something that we've been watching, 5 years ago, there was no such thing as a poker vlogger, right? Or maybe 5 or 6 years ago, Andrew Neve kind of started doing it, and then we had a bunch of copycats after. And I think you 3 all are starting to make content that to me feels a lot different than that, and it's refreshing. Next one I want to show, let's take a look at number 1, Ryan. This is Washburn's first clip.
Which one is this one?
The first clip that you sent to me.
Yes, we gotta show this one. Quads. High hand? Nice. What a fold. That's $1,000. High hand, 1K, quad aces. Mwah.
Well, that was a nice unexpected gift. And speaking of gifts, a couple rounds later, we are in the cutoff and look down to 2 10s. A very solid hand according to the Phil Hellmuth book. The one where he gave an animal name for every type of player. Spoiler alert, you want to be an eagle, not a mouse. It's also a great hand if you like soccer, or for you non-Americans, football. We also have a button strap.
Okay, and so I just love the way that you're not just telling us about the hand, Washburn. You're you're making funny jokes about Phil Hellmuth. You're talking about the different animals. So I've never read his book. What is the thing with the being an eagle and not a rat? Tell me about that.
So that's the one you just played,
Yeah.
not the intro one? Oh,
That's the
with
one.
The Hellmuth?
Yeah.
So first, thank you for that nice intro. You
Yeah.
forgot to add one thing about when you were introducing me. Not only am I DJ Washburn, but I'm also the RaverPoker #1
Oh, okay,
fan.
yes. He is the president of the fan club, I guess.
And the only person to ever wear a RaverPoker shirt on stream that
That's
was last
true.
year.
That's
true.
true.
No one else has
I-
ever done that, so
No,
I've
it
got
was a
that
little
record.
weird, but it's okay.
I'm a big fan too. I'm a big fan.
Well,
Okay.
you know, use some of your winnings, go buy a shirt, and make your own shirt, and you'll be
Okay.
good to go. So with that one, the purpose of that clip was to show like what I was trying to do with my vlog by adding in funny memes, things that make people laugh, and not just because my whole theme is like not GTO. Like I'm not a professional poker player. I'm not trying to show, hey, this is how you play perfect poker, and no, it's like supposed to be entertaining. And by adding those memes in, and I always thought that a poker player who is around my age that grew up during the Moneymaker era would get that, because that Phil Hellmuth book came out in the early 2000s, and it was just a funny thing. I think when you look back at it now, how he in that book he classified the players like the jackal, the fish, the horse, whatever, the rat, and now it's just so like that's like 2 decades ago, and I think I was just trying to make fun of that now because this new era of poker players and the strategy out there, I think, is like, wait, you're a rat? It was so different back then.
Yeah.
So I thought that's funny, and I thought that was a funny.
I agree.
little thing.
I loved poker strategy back then because it just felt like the Wild West. It's like everyone had their own theories. One guy's saying that you're animals. Another guy's saying you need to keep betting. Another, you know what I mean? It's just the game feels so figured out now. There's something just less cool about that.
Yeah, there was less math. There wasn't like I got to open to 2.2 here and
Right.
10 and big blind. Like no, it was like I look at you, Wild West type of thing, and you just said like the strategies, and of course that is a good tie into the godfather of poker, Mr. Doyle himself, who of course, if you're a poker player, you know he just passed away yesterday.
Go ahead, chat. Now's your moment. R.I.P. Doyle Brunson.
Yes.
You've been waiting for this day for years. They've been waiting for this day for years.
Yeah.
But it's just like an inside joke, I guess, that chat has. They spam
Well-
R.I.P. Doyle Brunson like all the time.
I know. But like you
It's
said,
not funny, but it's like it
Yeah.
just this is the day. This is the one
It is.
time. It is absolutely respectful today. It is okay.
Yeah, but it's a perfect segue to probably a reason why a lot of us are here and what poker is today.
Yeah, it
obviously,
is.
what he
It's
did
true.
for the game, and you were talking about the Godfather and the poker.
Did you
strategy
read
books.
Super System too?
Yeah, I've read
Yeah, me
through
too.
it, some of it. Yes.
And
Back then, it was that Mike Carroll Book of Tells.
yep.
And then you had people like Dan Harrington, Hellmuth that started putting out these. It's really funny content if you go back and watch some of the instructional
right.
videos.
And essentially, you can summarize Super System as just bet. That is Super System, right?
Bet.
He just
Aggression.
bets all
Bet.
the time, and especially apparently back then, people just would fold, you know,
Yeah.
and that was his whole strategy was based on, most of the time nobody has anything. That was like, if you could center his whole strategy, that is it. And it's like he bets, he bets, he bets, he bets. Doesn't work as well these days. You have to know when to like.
Yeah. Because people know what you know, but they know that
They
you
know,
know.
you know,
right?
they know.
You
Right.
do that.
Yeah. All right. Next, let's take a look at Brantzen's latest vlog, which I think is just a work of art. You really made this like a film, from the American Psycho intro to the vlog to then just the way that there's this tension that builds in the middle. So let's look at that. Let's look at this is from the middle section of his vlog on his experience on Max Payne Monday. Ryan? Brantzen has the same 2 9s as he had last hand. How about that? And this is a disaster for Brantzen with the same 2 9s. It's not going to be good this time, Brantzen.
No way. Wait.
Nate Hill has a set. What a disaster for Brantzen. How does he not go broke here?
250.
Definitely gonna win the bet. 100%.
DK raises it up with ace 8.
Hey, do I have?
And he just calls. And this would be a stellar fold by Brantzen. A stellar fold by Brantzen. I don't see how you could fold on this table. Pocket 9s here.
Let's go this way, Dave.
No fault on Brantzen if he goes all in right now.
Only pick what I think you have first.
Wheels turning. He's all in. And who can blame him? He's going to need to hit a 9, an upside down 6, or he is in big, big trouble here. This is going to be all of his chips. What a roller coaster ride for Brantzen. That is never a good sign when your opponent starts laughing and joking around. That shows an extreme degree of comfort, and Brantzen, on the other hand, is extremely uncomfortable. This is a miscalculation by DK. And Nate Hill, who has been comfortably joking around and talking with everyone at the table, is sitting there with a set of 6s, the second nuts on this board.
I'm all in.
What a disaster. And this is the dangerous spot for DK now. He folds.
He folds. We're good to go. Oh, okay.
Nate Hill just can't stop laughing. Brantzen needs a 9, upside down 6. Or Nate Hill's gonna scoop a huge pot. Brantzen sees the bad news. I really thought that the song you chose there, it was so beautiful and artistic, and it built tension in such a unique way. And how did you pick that song, first of all, and how did you come up with that segment? Because the whole segment is really just about your downfall, and you lose all but like 1,500.
Yeah, it was. It was rough. Well, the thing was, going into the stream, D-Gap actually approached me before the show and was like, "Hey, I really like what you do. You know, you're a creative guy," and he was saying, "Hey, you know, would you be able to do something creative about this?" And normally I go on like the funny route, and I was thinking about doing like a mockumentary, more funny.
Yeah.
And then I went on the show, and all of the feelings I was feeling were like really big. A lot of nervousness, anxiety, but also like excitement, and so going on the show, you know, things did not go my way in the beginning, and I felt that, and when I re-went back into the story, then it was just like, oh man, I just kind of want everyone to feel what I was feeling. Like in a world where like all these characters, sometimes money can feel like nothing, you know? It's just like, everyone has so much, and it's like, it might as well be
These
Monopoly,
assholes, I think that
crazy.
sometimes. I'm like,
It's
fuck
crazy.
these guys, man. Like, I think that on the Friday game sometime, I'm over here sweating using the camera. I'm like, and these guys are just throwing 5K chips all over the place. Must be nice.
But I wanted
Must
to
be
capture
nice.
like what it felt like as like the human, all like of my human emotions, and like so they could feel what I was feeling. And then I was just searching through songs and songs, and when I came across that, I was just like, okay, like this matches the anxiety I was feeling.
Totally. It gives you a feeling of anxiety. And I mean, the anxiety you were feeling was real. You had a lot of, as you talked about in the vlog, you had a lot of pressure on yourself. You had received money from various people. You could feel the disappointment. You know, they're all watching you. So you went from $10,000 down to 1,500?
Something like that.
Or like
1,400.
1,400?
It was some
He
small.
had 1,400, and then he doubled
Very
that,
rough.
and then doubled that again, and then that led to the final moment, the last 15 minutes of the show. Play it, Ryan.
What happened the last 15 minutes of the show?
I had 10.
Oh, that was that.
Losing it all.
Jesus.
That is a huge part of poker.
Birthday, man.
Dude,
So this time it's tens.
it is what it is.
For Brantzen. Nines. He fell victim to in the end. One time. One time.
Randy.
Come on,
This is so stupid.
do it. Let's go.
He's got aces.
No, he doesn't. Stop. Stop. Brantzen?
Flipping at best.
No.
I don't know. Oh man, it's just every
Just go.
hand I get re-raise, huh?
Yeah. So now you have to put your foot down, Brantzen. birth of a poker star. Brantzen, I'm telling you. A transformative moment on Max Payne Monday. Have a wonderful night, everyone. That's the clip, and I really just think that, you know, we can talk briefly about that before we kind of open it up to just where poker content is going and where you guys see poker content going. But, you know, obviously I was a little biased, but I was a big fan of that vlog, and I just thought that, once again, the music choice there, it was cool. It fit the moment, and you made a film, which is not something that you really see in the space. So just your thoughts on that.
No, it was, I really enjoyed doing something different. I think that, you know, a lot of times vlogs can be one way, and it was definitely interesting just trying something new.
Yeah, and so you guys all, I think, are in a unique position. You're able to get on the show, first of all. You're building fan bases, and you're starting to create poker content. Let's start it off with kind of where you guys see poker content going. What's the future of poker content? I think all three of you could be a part of that. Washburn?
I have to go to the bathroom? No, I'd like to talk. Perfect on what he just said. You were talking about the music selection. Well, as a DJ, music is what we use to make people feel a certain way. So exactly the idea, there's a difference between showing poker hands and telling a story with poker.
Yes.
Brantzen does a great job with that, including the music. So I get that, I understand, and that's a nice segue into my mindset of what I'm trying to do with mine. Like I said, it's not like here's how you play perfect poker and I'm a grinder. No, it's to be entertaining and show there's no other DJ poker combination out there, vlog, right? So my idea is to, from the feedback I've got, people enjoy when I put the stuff that I'm doing. Like, why am I playing poker in Florida? Oh, it's because I was down in Orlando DJing this huge megacon. Insert B-roll, like cool shit like that. And then I went to the casino and played. So my goal and like where my vlog is trying to go with was to show that, bring in the entertainment side, make it more about the personality. They're not going to watch my poker play, but maybe they watch because they like my personality.
Or they're going to watch your poker play, but they're not going to watch just because of the poker play, right?
So to try to incorporate more of that, and oh, this was cool. He just did this club in LA, and now he's playing poker at Hustler, and show that and make it more of an energetic, upbeat, fun thing. Like, oh, I got deuce six. Oh, fuck it, I'm in, sure, in, and not like, I played the ace king perfectly, and the VPIP there was 17%, and I just knew my equity was 7, so I'm in. Like, nah, we're not doing that. It's like, 4-5, open-ended, all in. Oh, there goes my water. We're all in. So there. See?
Yeah, I think the memes are really good too, right? You're throwing in these like little like images and things about this and that are funny, right? That's not. I mean, Ryan DePaulo does stuff like that, right? So it's kind of taking what he's done.
People love memes, and with storytelling, with content creation, it's about mixing up the visual and audio presentation, right? You can't just keep a camera angle, and you guys know this from what you do. You can't keep a camera angle straight, and people are gonna get bored. So adding in something, a funny meme, a cat meow, when you brick you show a wall of bricks, something like that, right? Those things are just, it keeps the visual, mixes it up,
right?
Keeps it fresh.
And what about you, AV? I think you're in a very interesting position because in the last few months, we've watched you kind of become a part of the like poker greater community, right? You were there at the Airball Berkey heads up match. You're right. You had like a picture of it. You were there. You're with like Joey. You're with this. You're in this interesting space because you kind of have this like one of us as a woman in poker, like who's actually kind of a degen and has fun playing poker is like a kind of rare thing, right? And I think that you can vault that into something really special. What are your plans in the kind of poker content space? What are you thinking?
Yeah, so so far, my fan base, I really hate saying that, but it's, you know, they appreciate me for being a degenerate, and I feel that. I think I've always been pretty honest and humble about my upcoming, and it's not like I have money bags, but I like spending my money how I like to and living the lifestyle I do. So content creation, I feel like there's a piece of poker that's almost been lost to poker being solved, and I really want to help, like what you guys are saying about the old Wild West of poker, and very much what Washburn's saying too.
Make poker fun again.
Yeah, like really, and I think there's always going to be the chat pros or the people on Twitter that or like TikTok that have something to say about me misplaying a hand or whatever.
Actually,
but
that was the second nutch.
yeah. Right.
Those guys are always
Like
going to
that,
exist.
for sure.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I play poker for fun, and I play poker because I'm a people person, like 75% of the time. The rest of the time, I'm kind of a couch goblin, but that's
Couch goblin. That's a good one.
But I just think it's something. Poker's something that you can't. There's nothing else like it because you can't really sit at a table full of a bunch of strangers and try to figure them out for hours. You know.
How
Like,
does it,
it's-
just not that it's super relevant, but that I just think it might be interesting to our 98.5% male audience.
Right.
What is it like being, oftentimes or usually, right, the only woman at a poker table?
Yeah.
How does that impact the experience that you have?
It really depends. I would say there's two very different kinds of male players that I've faced. In between is just the just playing poker. There's usually the older guys that try to take it easy on me. They tell me to fold. They'll show me the cards. They'll whatever. Or there's the polar opposite. There's the
I would
dudes
like
that'll
to be shown
bully me. Yeah, no, it happens.
It's plus EV a lot of times.
Yeah. So and then there's some times where I get people will target me and try to bluff me more and try to bully me. I've been told at the poker table before that women shouldn't be in poker. Like I've been told that to my face.
Oh my.
So obviously diving into 98 point whatever percent male audience, I really have to kind of dive into that and use like one of the boys kind of mentality.
I agree. No,
I
think that is a huge separator in the space, right? Like if you look at the easy route to for woman content creator in poker is like Lynn, Poker Bunny, like the
Sashimi does it very well.
Sashimi,
She's
sure.
feels like a bro sometimes.
But it's really a breath of fresh air, and I hope that you continue down that path.
Totally, I will. And I mean, that's just my authentic self. I'm not really putting on a character. I think maybe at the table I talk shit a little bit more than I would in person. I'm very nice, but sometimes I like to come off as an asshole. So if that's it's good for my table image, I'll take it.
It's good to be authentic. So props
Right?
to you.
Yeah. I'm a little
That's awesome.
sassy, but
Good.
And then
Thank you.
Brantzen, who is the farthest along on your poker content creation journey of the three of you. Right now, it's like you're a couple thousand feet in the air. How many YouTube subscribers now?
Like 25, 26,000.
26,000. Hey, that's a lot.
27. I looked last night. I was
it?
keeping you. I think it was 27.
No, it's not.
Hey, let's give him more.
Let's round it off to
25,860.
After
Brantzen Poker.
the show.
Yeah, Brantzen Poker, right? Brantzen Poker. And your channel is DJ Washburn.
My OnlyFans or my poker channel?
Oh, OnlyFans. That's what I.
Well, that's secret. You can DM me for that one. DJ Washburn Poker on YouTube.
DJ Washburn Poker.
Yeah.
And they can follow you at Sleepy Sleeps or AV Sleeps.
Yeah, AV Sleeps is my Instagram. AV Sleeps has been like my music name for years, and so Sleepy Sleeps. On TikTok, I'm 7 Deuce Offsuit, which
You have the name 7 Deuce Offsuit on TikTok.
So that's really where my content creation started, really casually. I was living in Hawaii, no live poker, playing a lot of online, so I started making like silly TikToks about poker.
The 7 Deuce Offsuit.
Just 7-2 Offsuit. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
There's some good stuff on there.
Yeah, so how long did it take you, Brantzen? Let's talk to the aspiring content creator out there. When did you start the vlog, and how long has it taken you to get 25, 26, 27,000 subs?
I actually posted the Hustler vlog on the 2-year anniversary of like my first post. So it's been roughly 2 years.
Okay.
But at the same time, for most of the journey, for the first year and a half, I was basically a full-time dad for my newborn child, who's now 2.5. And so I was, I wasn't able to go in 100%. I was still like being a dad, playing poker on the side for side income, and then.
But then your wife Becca, shout out to Becca.
Yeah, shout out Becca again.
She stepped up, right?
Yeah, so we decided, to switch, and so in October, she quit her job, and I went full time into poker and poker content.
That's a supportive wife.
Yeah, totally supportive.
Yeah. That's what and I remember I said that many times in the stream because that was shocking to me. I've heard many a poker story, but to have the wife quit her like stable job to allow the other one to pursue a poker life is such.
She pushed me into
That's like
it.
hitting a one-outer.
She actually pushed me into poker play.
It is like hitting a one-outer.
When your card's in the muck and you
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
drop
Somehow
the deck to
you get the
reshuffle.
cards
That's
back,
what that is.
It's such a unique experience. It's usually the complete opposite. So.
Yeah, no, I got really lucky, and my wife and I, we knew each other since we were like 12, 13 years old, so.
Aw.
So she always like knew me better than anyone, and she had faith in me and belief in me, and was like, you know, you should do, like, we spent a year in Korea and came back, and coming back, she was like, Brantzen, try poker as a profession, and that's kind of where I took it more seriously.
So on the show today, we have some very successful content creators. They're not poker content creators by any means, right? But we have Pearson, who has a YouTube channel with like 5 million subscribers, and she has a bazillion followers on TikTok and all that stuff. We have Bryce Hall, who I think half of TikTok follow him. I mean, you know, these guys have really like pushed the limit of what is possible from a young person in today's age in social media. You know, I don't know that, you know, the poker content creation ceiling, I mean, I know it's a lot lower than the kind of general content, but what do you guys think? Is there something we can pick up from what they're doing? I mean, they essentially make, you know, stuff that appeals to the widest audience possible, right?
I think like that's exactly it. Like it's making, you know, when you look at a lot of vlogs, they appeal to everyone who just plays poker because it's like, oh, well, I have a whatever, this much equity, and you lose people immediately.
Yeah.
But I think making content that's accessible and entertaining to the masses is like the key, you know.
With a hint of poker, maybe.
With definitely, I mean, poker's there, and it can be really entertaining because it's like, oh wow, they're playing with lots of money, or this is a big decision, but like on the backbone of you're just making really entertaining stuff that's like fun to watch, or you know, makes you feel something. I mean, everyone just wants to like feel something, whether it's like happiness or laughter, or you know, they want to feel what you're feeling.
I think having that authenticity and passion for what you do, regardless of what your content is very key. And listening to you talk about your daughter and your wife, I could feel you were talking from your heart.
Yeah,
and that's something I pick up on.
That's
and
what I like.
I like felt myself zooming in, not like physically, but like you had me connected. You had me connected, and then Korea and like all these things. But that same type of thing that you just did naturally, and you apply that to the content creation, that's what people connect with. They're like, oh, okay. I can feel that. I can connect. He's talking about his daughter. It makes me relate to my daughter. Like those type of things. So whether you're Mr. Beast, whether you're Bryce, whether you're poker, you find a way, I think, to relate and connect with someone on a real, genuine, emotional, human way. That is going to give you sustainability and set you apart, I think.
I agree. I think that's a big part of AV's secret formula to success is that she's literally just being herself, and she's just drinking and degenning out and having fun at the table, and that's enough, right? Like that's.
I think a lot of it too is humor is a huge part of my life. I went to film school. I'm looking into another film program in Europe next year. I'm all about comedy writing, and that's, you know, I try to involve a lot of that because, you know, like the feeling emotionally connected with something that you watch.
Yeah.
I think something about making people laugh is a huge thing. So with content
That's a
creation,
huge emotion,
it's a
yeah.
huge like it really is the best medicine after real medicine for whatever you need to, you know, take care of.
After tequila.
Right. Well, no, I think laughter first, tequila second. I'm, you know, I really stand by that.
And for poker losses in particular, that actually might be true.
Well, yeah, and I think
Right.
Making my content as relatable as possible, like appealing to not only poker players, but maybe like the girlfriends of poker players, or you know, people
there you
that have
go.
a bunch of poker friends that, you know, might not know terminology or whatever. I have a couple hand reviews on TikTok, but
Have you thought about making the longer form content like they're doing, or are you gonna stick it to short?
yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. I think with my ADHD brain, short format is really fitting for me, but I've been asked to, you know, start a vlog and try to get on that journey. Every time I try, I feel really awkward, so it's kind of feeling around
Let's
that.
talk about that for a second. Let's
Yeah.
pin that for right now, because I think that that's something that actually prevents a decent amount of people from doing a poker vlog is that awkward feeling. Can both of you guys speak to that, especially the first couple times you did it?
It's so hard. And I just filmed yesterday me talking about how I'm going to switch things up because of kind of that. It's so intimidating, especially if you're someone that wants to do has high expectations. It almost it's like looking at a blank sheet of paper when you have to when you have to write an essay or something, where you're like, oh, I want to be so perfect with this, and then you just in your mind it runs like, and it's intimidating because, oh shoot, did I get the right content? Did I do the right intro? Am I filming from the parking lot when I should be filming from inside?
And does that itself, the act of filming, act as a catalyst for action at the table, kind of? Do people want to go against you? Do they not want to play you?
I'll definitely speak on that. Since I've only done a few episodes, but yeah, it certainly does, and it's taken, for me personally, taken the fun away a little bit from poker. Because I'm not a pro, because if I got to play 4 or 5 times a week, it'd be different. Like, you play 1, you vlog, you play 4, have fun. But since I don't get to play that often with my careers, I'd be like, okay, every time I get to go play, I feel like the pressure, I have to go vlog. And then I have to feel like I have to create good content, so I gotta put on a show, right? When the camera's rolling, you wanna be able to do something other than you normally. So it does take a lot more mental, emotional exhaustion, more energy to do that, which then all of that creates into, then you can be spent afterwards, and then you're like, wow, I played like shit, I'm not happy about this content I got, and then, all right, and then next week it's like, do I really want to do this again? I just want to go sit and play poker. So for me personally, only a few months in, that's something I've experienced that working through, and I'd be curious to know how.
Brantzen was nodding a lot in the beginning. I think especially at the part where you felt awkward at first.
The awkwardness, I remember like distinct memories of like my first time where I like set my camera up on like a little stand, and I'm trying to be like, hey guys, like this is what I'm gonna be doing, and I'm doing it like 15 times, and meanwhile like my wife's upstairs and I know she hears it and it's so embarrassing. And I'm saying the same thing over and over, and like, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I sound too robotic, or I sound too fake, or I sound too whatever, and it's hard to like be yourself and come across that on camera because you know there's a camera there, you know, so.
But then you just throw an accent in, and then you're cool in. I love that.
Yeah, it's always easier. You just, we'll
sure.
talk in Scottish, and everything's better. You know?
Have you guys experimented? Have you thought about making short form content too?
I do make short form, but like my whole short form is, like she said, I just do a bunch of accents, impressions, like random stuff, because like I feel like I can't justify my own thinking in a short, so like why even try, and like instead just like have fun with it.
Like that, I think that guy Greg goes all in.
Yeah.
He has done a fantastic job of kind of exploring what's fun, right, in the poker space. Like, yeah, no one wants to watch hands anymore. I think we're past that. There's too many hands out there.
There's so much more to it, you know. Like, and I think a lot of people. Especially, I get so many questions, mostly from non-poker players, about lifestyle stuff, and they're like, "Well, that's so cool." And I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah. I mean, it's tough to like grind cards because sometimes you have losing days, and it's like, when I first started, and I had a big losing day or losing day in a row, like, I had to cut back on groceries for the week. Like I had to there was a point when I first started playing poker that I was putting essentially like my net worth on the table. And luckily I've gotten lucky with business deals and stuff since then, and I can, you know.
A true degen.
But like literally like
putting your net worth on the table.
Looks like we're eating ramen tonight.
Yeah, like, and so I come from that background with poker. So now, you know,
I put my net worth on the table. I mean, you know, it's just something I think when you're grinding up stakes, like, I mean, it's inevitable. If especially because how old are you? Like
25.
25. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you're in your early 20s. Like, that's the time to do it.
Yeah, and I've always been in that mindset. Like, I know I'm not gonna be a total degenerate for the rest of my life. I have a lot of big goals.
No kids, no mortgage.
But I make it work.
Degen out while you can.
I have fun. You know? I love my life. I wouldn't change a lot right now.
Good thing Hustle here is so fantastic, and they give free meals to the players. So, you know, my net worth's on the table. At least I get.
At least you get a meal. Is that what you're
That's how Vegas is, free drinks. So at least, like, if I lose $400, I'll just pretend like it was a really big bar tab. That's what I do.
It was a really big bar tab.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Let's talk about the lineup tonight. Ryan, how much time do we have? Just a few minutes. So let's talk about the lineup tonight. We have the players we haven't mentioned yet. Tommy Yunold, right? He's a big TikTok star, a big TikTok creator. What do you guys think about him? Have you watched him play?
Yeah, I remember the big hand he had against Hashimi.
Against Hashimi.
The boat
Everyone remembers
versus.
that.
Oh, that was
Slow
hilarious.
rolled him.
Yeah, that was.
But
that
he's
was
a
fun.
pretty good poker player, you know, and obviously, you know, DK, DGAF. I mean, this is going to be a wild table. You have a lot of people who don't necessarily give a shit about money, and then you have some people who are grinding for money, but it's just going to be a wild time. You've all been here on a Max Payne Monday. Who's the big loser tonight? Who's the big winner?
Well, I think we're all winners for just being here.
Yeah, you're all winners for being
yes.
here. All right, Brantzen's not in the game, so he can have an unbiased view.
Who do you think?
Come on, let's put you on the spot.
right,
Who's
my
the big
God.
winner? Who's the big loser tonight?
Oh, dude.
I'll give you $100 if you guess it right. Biggest winner.
God.
Yeah.
I think biggest winner. I'm gonna say DGAF.
Okay.
It's one of those weeks
All right,
for him.
and biggest loser?
Oh boy. Who's it gonna be? I'm gonna.
You have to pick.
Oh
Don't
God,
let
this
us
is
out.
horrible. I'm gonna say my man Randy. I love the guy.
This is a decent choice, and you heard AV here. She said it's $100 if you get it right. This is a free roll for you.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you put yourself on the line.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's going to be a wild show. Thank you so much for joining us on the pregame show. Max Payne Monday is next. Chat Pros, let's get it.
Chat Pro. Slow roll. Never fold. Raise it up. Chat Pro. Slow roll. Never fold.
Raise it up.
Chat Pro. Slow roll. Never fold. Slow roll. Never fold. Slow roll. Never fold.
Raise it up. Raise it up.
Chat Pro.